It's the hottest entertainment stories coming up next, right here on Tea Time. Hello there and welcome to the program, and thanks for joining us. I am Takumbo Taiwo. My co-anchors Lakpe Banjo and Ife Oshinkeye are definitely here to do justice to each story. Hello guys.
Hello. What's up, Takumbo?
Our top story for the afternoon edition of the program is on Drake. The Canadian superstar allegedly has another secret baby, and reports coming to us say the boy looks just like Drake. Ooh. Where do we start?
Okay, let me start by telling you that this story is still growing. So it's just something we just jumped into, we just ran into, and we decided to talk about it a bit, so in case it's true. You know, recently, Pusha T just disclosed to us, or exposed, let me use the word, exposed.
Yeah.
Drake, that he has a baby mama, and then his baby mama is a porn star.
Yeah.
And then he has a child, Adonis. So, there's another woman coming out now saying that she's Drake's baby mama and that Drake is not responding to her messages. And she's created another social media page just to put Drake on blast. Not for anything. She created a social media page, putting Drake on blast. And she's threatening that she would do anything in her power to make sure that Drake is part of her son's life.
Just because Drake didn't get back to her.
Yeah, he's not responding. And the child is about 2.5 years now, so it's not like a newborn baby. Like 2 years, and Drake hasn't responded to any of her messages. He's not picking her calls, nothing. So she had to create a social media page just to blast Drake. And then, yes.
Are people reacting though?
Of course people are reacting after Pusha T told us.
So who are they supporting, Drake or this new baby mama?
No, everybody, you know, the internet world, man, everybody's just going crazy. Like, Drake, is he a rap star or is he a baby star?
Do you know what's funny, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what's really funny? That she's like, all these allegations are coming out, and she's saying that he doesn't pay anything, like he hasn't really claimed the child, right? And then there's another baby mama, the porn star, that actually said that, you know, I mean, he's involved in the child's life, he just doesn't want them in the public eye.
Yeah.
It makes you question, like, Drake's personality, his songs, his music, his lyrics don't really, like, add up.
Tally up.
To the kind of
person that she's portraying him to be. And also, as well, like, he's someone that just did a God's Plan video, and he has money to look after a child, so it will be quite shocking to see why he doesn't.
But I think it still takes us down to what I was telling you about testy girls. This girl might be one of those testy girls.
Oh, let's not go there again. Oh, good heavens. Did you see Lakwe's reaction? Let's not even go there.
That, okay, maybe he slept with, and he probably didn't use protection, and then because it's Drake, she's coming out to say, oh, I'm carrying your baby. It could be that.
Well, then he can just get a DNA test and find out if it's his child.
Exactly. Now, that's what we should be talking about.
He's not even interested in the first instance.
He's not even responding to any of her messages. But she called out some people like, oh, I'm talking to Tokuba, and I'm like, oh, I already called Lakpe. Maybe Tokuba is not picking my call, and I'm sending him a message, and I'm like, oh, I've called Lakpe, I've called Ineka, you're not. You get that kind of thing, and then she's actually calling people so close to Drake, like she's been calling them as well, and they're not picking.
But what evidence do we have that she's actually been calling?
That's what I'm saying. This no, she has a screenshot of their conversation. You see you know his Instagram handle is Champagne Poppy.
Yeah.
So you see it there. You see his name there is verified and everything, and then there are charts, there are messages.
And he responds?
No, he doesn't respond, but just a one-sided chart.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would like to see how that story develops.
Okay, then I think he posted
that he's actually the father. Is there any evidence?
Yeah, but he's not replying, so she can't even do a DNA test in the first place.
There's no evidence. That's why I'm saying the story is still growing. I'm sure. Let's leave it from today till the weekend. I'm sure we'll have more scope on it.
Since it's still developing.
Yeah,
there must be an element of truth though, because he's a celebrity, he's probably like really, really hard to access. And this is a big deal. Like, this is a child that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is a possibility that he is probably ignoring her, but I can imagine how many kind of messages he gets like that on a daily basis.
Then he posted.
So let me just ask you quickly. Do you think we should take her seriously or disregard all of these allegations?
No, I don't think we should disregard, because I don't think every woman is thirsty to have a baby with but I think
with emphasis.
Exactly, yeah. But I think that like, I don't see why I should go to the extent of trying to like smother him with a child if we know that we can get a DNA test. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Our next story is on Johnny Depp. The American actor has filed a libel lawsuit against the Sun newspaper. So this is quite another interesting story.
So back in 2016, Johnny Depp actually was allegedly verbally and physically abusing his then wife Amber Heard. Now, Amber alluded to some of these things, and they got a divorce, and it was very, very public. So now J.K. Rowling has actually casted.
That's the Harry Potter woman. Right?
Yeah. So she's casted him for her new movie that's coming out.
Yeah. Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts. And The Sun had a headline saying that how could she cast a wife beater essentially for a movie?
Yeah.
She obviously came back and they ignored it and said that he fits the bill and that's the person that she wants. But he's now suing The Sun for defamation of character because why would you assume that there's no
the
proof?
wife beater, yeah.
Yeah, there's no proof to say he's a wife beater. Him and Amber have obviously sorted out their differences. And they're not talking about it publicly anymore. So for The Sun to just assume that he's been labelled a wife beater, it calls for
So how much is he suing for?
I'm not actually
£200,000.
Yeah, and there were legal fees
plus there was
excluded.
legal fees.
Yeah, 10,200 and
£10,000
something
Yeah, on top of that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's about what's that? £210,000.
Yeah,
And he'll probably get that plus more for damages as well.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to say because I think
that's
not
like
enough.
change because he paid Amber about £5 million to.
I mean, £200,000 won't really do much to his pocket.
But you know my concern. Why would you pay £5 million to settle out of court if it wasn't true?
What do you mean?
He paid Amber, his ex-wife.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's obviously elements of truth, but no one's found
But did you
him
see that
guilty.
video when it was going erratic in 2016?
On the boat or something,
Was he on the boat or?
They were on holiday together.
Yeah, they were on holiday in a
and then
villa
that's
or
when
something.
that's what went viral and everyone assumed.
lost it.
So to an extent, there is evidence, but there's no there hasn't been a trial.
Yeah, and then she has
to say
pictures
that
of her being
her being
bruised
beaten.
face
Do
and
you
all
think
of
he
that.
has a point though with regards to The Sun in terms of defamation of character?
Yeah, because they don't have legal written evidence that he's a wife beater or that his wife is even happy for him to be labelled as that. There's just so many clauses there that they've just
And who
assumed.
do you think is really to blame? The columnists or The Sun newspaper themselves?
No, The Sun. They've got the duty of care, surely,
The Sun.
to know what kind of.
It's not
headlines
even
they put out.
suing The Sun, it's suing the mother company of The Sun. That's the Rupert Murdoch news group or something like that. So he's suing the mother company of The Sun.
Yeah, he's probably going to get more money from them anyway.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it makes more sense.
it would.
Alrighty, last word. Anyone wants to have the last word on this before we move
No,
on
but
to?
it's just a lesson for us all, right? Just be careful what you say, really, because then it might just come to bite you in the bum.
Exactly. Still to come on Afternoon Tea Time. We've got Scoop on J1, Nkiru Sylvanus and Omotola Jalade. That's all coming up right after this break.
Thinking of banking in Africa? Think Zenith. In today's fast-moving, fast-changing world, you need a financial partner that understands your unique expectations. A bank with presence in major financial centers across the world, with the enabling platform to facilitate seamlessly, whenever, wherever, however. A bank with best-in-class financial solutions from a superb combination of technology and human touch for easy, fast, and secure banking that creates real value. Turning dreams into reality is now in your hands. People, technology, service. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time, and the next story on the show is on J1. The Nigerian singer's recent house party was interrupted by the special anti-robbery squad. So, what really happened?
Well, he was celebrating his 32nd birthday. And basically, he was having a really nice time. And suddenly, SARS invaded his house. And basically, we don't know if they made arrests. We don't know if they kind of broke into his house. But what we do know is that SARS did show up to his house, and he released a video on his Instagram. And he captioned it as, what was it again? He said that basically alluding to the fact that SARS can't do anything to him, and that not everybody has to fear SARS, in his words. And so, I think something definitely went down. His party, he was definitely upset that his party was crashed. But what happened? What happened?
Do you think he had a tip-off?
No, I don't think it's a tip-off. Yeah, it could have been a tip-off, or it could have just been SARS being their usual self, or rather
Because I was wondering how on earth did they actually know?
No, I think what could have happened, J1 is like a celebrity, and then obviously there will be flashy cars driving into his house at that time of the night, and then maybe they were at some spot waiting for armed robbers, the real armed robbers, and then they see all those flashy cars going in one direction, and then they decided to go
Wow,
there.
you've created a whole story for them.
And then they decided to go and see what was going on. No, I'm just saying it could have been that. Because I don't think it's just because that's how they operate. They just see youths looking good. I think when a policeman was telling them just last week that not every good-looking guy is a fraud boy, because that's their impression.
Yeah.
Once you look good, you're using a very expensive phone, your perfume smells nice.
Yeah, but that is
you're a fraud
borderline
boy.
harassment.
It is
If-
It's not borderline. It's
It
full-on
is
harassment.
full-on.
Yeah, it's full-on harassment.
Because there I was, thinking I was trying to be polite. Well, it is full-on
no, it's
harassment.
full-on, and it's prejudgment as well.
Yeah,
Because
and it's
you're
beginning to
profiling
get
people.
even more
Yeah.
rampant.
You just profile people based on their looks.
on their
and then,
looks, yeah, and that's not
wrong.
fair.
It's not fair.
You know,
It's not
Ricardo
right.
Banks, as popular as Ricardo Banks is, he got arrested by
stopped.
SARS, and they
Yeah.
now recognize that one of
And
them
left him.
recognized that's why they left him.
Yeah.
So imagine it wasn't Ricardo Banks. He
Same
would have
thing happened
probably-
to Mr. Dr.
would have-
Sid. If
He'll
it
probably
was
get
after his-
slapped
Was that
first.
the Club 57 thing that happened?
No, that's
No, this was the other
EFCC,
day.
man.
Oh, that
This
was the
is
SEC.
SARS.
Oh, I keep
mixing them
mixing
up.
Yeah.
No, even Dr. Sid, they said that if he didn't
Yeah.
have his name on the back of his jersey, they wouldn't have believed that he was Dr. Sid either.
Yeah. No, it wasn't even about that. It was Basketmouth that was passing
And
then
stopped him.
saw that they were harassing Dr. C. They didn't even recognize Dr. C.
That's what I'm saying, but he had it on the back, so he was
Yeah.
telling them who he was. Look at my jersey and stuff, and some of them believed him, some of them didn't. Even Cool FM Dotun as well.
Yeah,
they said
Cool FM
He had
Dawson.
to tell,
you
they
see,
noticed
the
him. and they
Jibo
let-
guy, I think we spoke about Jibo, the guy
Yeah.
that had the
Yeah.
rifle
Yeah.
picture
Yeah,
on
yeah,
his
yeah,
phone
yeah,
and
yeah.
all of you get. So they just harassed different people. So that's what I'm saying. That I don't think it was a tip-off. Maybe they were mounted, they were posted somewhere, and then they see all those flashy cars going.
And they get all
Wonder,
suspicious.
yeah, and they're like, okay, they're armed robbers.
Yeah.
You get because they
Wow.
drive flashy cars and then they just end up there.
It's not
Rugged Man was
appropriate.
at the party. Rugged Man also made comments about it. We haven't even heard anything from Rugged Man in a while, so I was surprised. So imagine such negative thing making Rugged Man talk after a while.
But I do feel like they
Really
got a
sad.
tip off because they actually went to his house. Like they weren't posted anywhere. They went to his house and like went in.
Because I was like, how on earth did they know? Because I
Yeah,
think
they
they must
went-
have had
they-
a tip
they
off of
actually
some
went.
kind
Trust
of
me,
some sort.
SARS most times don't get tip off. They just profile people based on looks. They've seen guys on dreadlocks. They've seen guys on braids. They've seen
Okay,
guys
let's
on
be honest,
afros.
yeah, right. I feel like that's true. That is an epidemic whereby they like look at people and profile them, right? But then this is, let's say, it's about 2 a.m. in the morning. It's at a location. You probably seen the flashy cars upon your arrival. It's in a really, really like rich, highbrow area, and
Lucky.
yeah, and then you're going directly to one address. I feel like that it's more than just a tip off. Like they probably
Yeah.
knew that there will definitely be people associated with J1.
And then obviously because maybe they even know that okay it's J1
Yeah,
doing something,
and like his
and they know
friends.
that okay these are musicians. There will be a lot of alcohol, probably drugs,
Yeah,
probably you
yeah.
get there will probably be stuff they can hold on to and be like oh these guys are armed robbers and they just
Yeah.
wanted to nab them.
Yeah. You know what? Let's look at it from SARS perspective, though. Have they released any statement to say why they, invaded?
No.
But do they
haven't.
usually release a statement if they like stop someone? I mean,
No,
there's been
like
a
the
series of
spokesperson would have said something on
Maybe
why.
if it gets to that level, they'll probably
escalates.
drop.
But
a
even the
statement.
whole
But
like
right now, it's
the
not
SARS
escalated.
movement, like the No to SARS movement,
Yeah.
hashtag movement, they haven't really come out to say anything in response about their like organization.
But I think we should actually follow up on that hashtag say no to SARS. Like I think they should really get SARS off the streets of Lagos because if they're
You
not
think they're doing
because
more harm than good?
Yes, because when was the last time we heard reports that they caught the actual armed robbers?
Yeah.
But we've been getting different stories of
people being
celebrities,
harassed.
young boys and girls. Okay, well, look at that girl that sent 5,000 naira to a SARS official that got him. Did you guys hear about that story?
Yeah, the girl that sent.
Yeah, the girl, and the guy was actually threatening them that he was going to kill them. They were in an Uber. They were not even in their own personal
Yeah, and she
car.
filmed it as well.
And then she filmed it. She filmed the guy's face. And then she said she doesn't have the 5,000 naira. The SARS guy was requesting for 5,000 naira or it would kill them. And then she was like, she doesn't have cash, so she would do a transfer. That was how she got the guy's real name. She was a very smart girl, so she did a transfer. So she had all his details, and then
Wow.
she made it viral. And
No,
that
it's
was how the
it's
guy
an
was.
abuse of power, and the fact that no one's actually directly telling them off or reprimanding them for it is why they can carry on doing it.
Just finally, who do you think, should reprimand them?
Whoever's in charge of them, like some sort of federal action should be taken because they've been doing it for so long and no one's
All
telling
right
them
then,
off.
let's gauge public reaction to this news item by going to our newsroom to hear from our social media analyst, Buki November. Buki, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so regarding this issue of SARS, excuse me, of SARS, I think the biggest fear of people online generally, is how this affects the everyday Nigerian, the guy who isn't even a celebrity. Because from comments online, it feels like you don't even have to, you just need to look suspicious for them to come to you. So days ago, Ricardo Banks tweeted, apparently he was also a victim. He tweeted some days ago saying, I don't even know the difference between SARS and armed robbers. The ones I met today overtook in a regular car, no uniforms, immediately pointed their guns and asked that we came down from the car, then calmed down when they noticed me. Biko, what if it wasn't me? I mean, this just expresses the fear of most Nigerians. It's actually very scary. I mean, let's look at some other comments from social media. Rugged Man actually put up the post about SARS and the event at J1's house. And he says, this is domestic terrorism. Call SARS to order before they start a nationwide catastrophic unrest. Let's hope this is curbed before it becomes, like he says, a nationwide catastrophic unrest. This is all from me now. Tokumbo, back to you.
Right, thanks a lot, Buki, for that nationwide unrest and that quick social media report. But before we take our next story, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
You know, from day one, Glo makes life easier. They brought us unbelievable data packages and even an optic fiber cable to make sure we optimize. There are two things in our lives we depend on: the communication and information, voice and data. Whether you sell, buy, learn, teach, serve, or lead, it really comes down to those two things: voice and data. Today's world is all about you. You want what you want, how you want it, and Glo delivers. That's why Glo is introducing Flexi, the freedom to use voice and data the way you like on every recharge. No plan, no hassle, easy.
Now, on every recharge, Glo Flexi automatically gives the freedom to use voice and data as you like. At the best rates in town, no plan, no hassle.
The grandmasters of data, Glo.
The next major headline is on Nkiru Sylvanus. The Nollywood actress has turned gospel singer and released an album titled I Am Not Afraid. Yes. So, what has brought about this change?
Well, only God knows what's brought about the change, but for now, she's venturing into gospel music. And a lot of people like it. I mean, a lot of her fans, she's got over 40,000.
She's even going on tour next month.
Yeah,
and
her
I'm
song's doing really well.
Yeah,
People are downloading.
Because you don't find a lot of gospel artists going on tour. So
Well, you do, but like not
Not
like
in Nigeria.
Yeah.
In Nigeria. Name one
There's so many of them that go
that
on
goes
tour.
on tour in Nigeria.
Yeah, but that's all fair
Not
and
that I
good.
know
But
of.
the
they
thing
go
is,
abroad.
Okay.
you know, I
No,
understand
I'm
where
talking
you're...
about within
Oh, I don't know about that,
Nigeria.
no.
They're going on tour. She's like doing a Lagos tour next month.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, like I said, you know, I think that's all fine and good, but what really brought about the change in her? Because from what I understand,
You're making it sound like she was a bad girl, you know.
but obviously she's had a bit of a
Like
controversial
this is a bad
past.
girl gone good thing.
Well, kinda. She's had a bit of a controversial past because
Yeah, she
you know
has,
she
yeah.
was allegedly she married her colleague
Oge Okoye.
Okoye's
Yeah,
husband.
ex-husband.
She also was allegedly having an affair with Governor of
Rochas Okorocha.
and also she works for him. So she moved from Nollywood to politics, and now she's going into gospel music.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of like the most random areas for
Very
someone that
random.
started off in Nollywood. So yeah, people probably do raise eyebrows, but people love her music.
But you know the funny thing, I'm wondering, you know, she, like you said, she used to work for Governor Rochas Okorocha as the special advisor on Lagos affairs in Imo State.
It's almost like but then we all know he's a bit. He creates offices and
I was going to say, was that real specially created for her?
Yeah. Then she's now the special advisor on public affairs. That was as far back as 2012. She became, after that, she became the special, because it was rumored that Rochas' wife didn't want her in position anymore, so she got fired, and then some Lisa girl took over. But she now addressed that as far back as 2012, saying she didn't get fired, she got promoted, and she was now the special advisor on public affairs. That was way back then. So I'm wondering, like, is she still, because Rochas is still in power, so I'm wondering, is she still there, or the politics is not working out anymore, and that's why she's doing music? You get, like, I'm just
You never
lost.
know. With music, you can't really say what people's motives are behind it, because it could be an expression of art. It could be because she just felt like singing and she's always been able to sing.
Yeah.
And also, usually actresses usually do venture into music. It's the politics thing that's a bit more random.
Do you know most of them do the Nollywood soundtracks, like all those songs that you listen to?
They sing it themselves, don't they? Yeah. So naturally, like even globally, a lot of actresses and actors can easily get into music and stuff. We see that all the time. So there's not really a clear way that we can say this is the motivation for her making a gospel CD. It's just a bit random because she's had loads of controversies. So I think that's why people
so
are
I'm thinking why it's surprising, because with all the controversy she's had in the past, people would rather see her do secular music than gospel music.
Exactly. I think that's just part of the judgment that comes with being a human being, really. Like, everyone will judge you for any decision that you make. Like, she's still a human being. She can sing about whatever she wants, really. So, yeah, I guess people just want to have something to say because of her past.
So she's had, like, a good start based on what you guys have said, that people like her music and everything. You know, do you think she might be one of those that... I'm talking about the longevity of of her career as a gospel artist. Do you think that's likely to happen, or she would just, you know, have a one-off... success?
I don't know. I usually think these things are one-off, but then you never know. She could be really, really good at it and blow, because the feedback and the response to her music has been really, really interesting and good. So
but
it
to
could
be
go
fair,
either way.
I haven't listened to any of the tracks, but with the comments,
The
people,
reviews.
reviews, people are actually speaking well of it. And as soon as I step out of this place, I'll go and listen to some of the music.
Yeah.
and
I have to say, I haven't listened to it either, but I understand she released a 15-track album. You know, so I thought that was...
And that's a good
afraid.
effort.
Yeah,
That's the name of the album. I'm not afraid.
I'm not afraid, exactly. So that's very good indeed. Our final story for the afternoon is on Omotola Jalade Ekinde. The Nollywood actress speaks on recklessness and availability to men. What on earth is she talking about?
This headline is so misleading.
It's
right?
misleading.
really
It's the most
misleading
misleading headline ever, because she's uploaded a picture.
Let me tell you how misleading it is before you go on.
Go on.
It's the Chris Brown response to
Oh, it's another Chris Brown response to Rihanna's breakup headline.
So
because it
misleading.
lures you in and you think she's going to say this like revelation and reveal everything about her past, when actually she finally decided that she wasn't going to be self-obsessed and put herself as her woman crush Wednesday. So she uploaded a picture of herself, her younger self, and she kind of did like a mini letter to herself and basically explained that, you know, when she was happy for the kind of person she was when she was younger, feeling very reminiscent and about the kind of person she's turned out to be, that although when she was younger she made herself available, but she never wandered. So she was just talking about how you know, luckily for her, as a young person, she was able to find the right balance.
Can I just quickly cut in, though, because I really didn't understand, you know, her... Just going back in history now regarding what she just recently did regarding writing...
Didn't she get married at 18?
Okay, and then she wrote a letter to herself. That's the part I didn't understand.
No, people usually do those things. Like, it's a letter to my younger self.
Note to self.
Yeah, so like people usually write letters when it's their birthday, when they're feeling very reflective.
Yeah.
They will write a letter to their younger self and explain, you know, some of the mistakes they made, what they will change. So in her case, she was actually praising her younger self and saying how proud of a person she's turned out to be. Now, what's really interesting is that she's made that comment, well, I made myself available, but I never wandered, meaning, you know, she didn't isolate herself, but she never went to the extreme, so she found the right balance. But I find it interesting because she married her current husband at the age of 18. So what mental state were you in at 18 for you to have psyched yourself into getting married? But her marriage has been successful. She's got 4 kids, and they're still together.
But man, I think age is nothing but a number, because I've seen 18-year-old kids that are more mature than a lot of people in their late 20s and 30s. So it doesn't matter about the state of mind she could have been. She had a
True, I just think it's very
she had
different.
a successful career at 18.
Do you
so
think
I
marriage
think,
makes you more mature then?
Yeah, definitely,
In her
because
case.
it brings a lot of responsibility to you. So you don't even have a choice. You have to get mature. You're having kids. You're having to do this for your husband. Definitely, you get more matured.
And then the
It's
people
just-
who can't actually handle it are the people that tend to get divorced. But
Yeah. You have to stay strong, man. Marriage is for better or worse. But
that's not what you think.
People just run away when it's the worst.
All right, we're not
Trust me.
talking. We're not preaching
Are you going to
divorce.
run away when it's the worst? Won't you stay in your marriage even when it's really bad?
I have different views on that.
You have different views.
Come on, share.
We're not going to discuss
So
that
that
today.
means that at your wedding there won't be any vow like for better.
We're
for
not
worse,
discussing that right
for
now.
richer or poorer.
We're not discussing that right now.
I'm sure you won't do the richer or poorer thing.
No, seriously, I want to know now.
Once it's
Will you do the
Once
richer
it's
for poorer?
poorer, oh Lord, Lakme is gone, man.
No, seriously,
What do
like,
you mean? What do you mean? Why are you
would you do the richer or poorer thing?
Next question.
Like I told you, she's never gonna do the
No
poorer
comment.
part.
No comment.
Man, look
You know
at this
what?
makeup, man.
If
this
I was
like,
the one doing
this
this-
like 25,000 there on her face.
Yes, so if I was the one doing this,
No.
Lakme would have been like politician. Now,
Well, yeah, it's my turn now. It's my turn to like
To be a
like,
politician.
I don't have to bring my
Are you
personal
in
views.
Silvanus?
I don't have to bring my personal views about my personal decisions onto the show. Thank you very much. What would you do? Would you do for richer for poorer?
For Rachel? Yeah, definitely, man.
Good. And you took on
so
board?
you wouldn't do it for richer?
I'm asking you
I'm
now.
speechless. You wouldn't do it for richer
I
or
didn't
poorer?
say that. I just said I'm not sharing my opinion. That's it.
You're not sure.
I'm not sharing my opinion.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is.
I would do it for richer for poorer.
I'm happy for both.
Yes.
So would I.
Can we both be happy for you?
Yes, so would
What
I.
about your dead do a spot?
Oh, shush. Can we not talk about
What about that?
Listen, don't do this. I'm not
Oh
talking about...
Lord,
I'm not
luckily
talking
I'm
about my
beginning to have a set. I think I dodged the bullet.
What?
And with that, we come to the end of the program. Join us tomorrow for another really good episode of Tea Time. My thanks will always go to my co-anchors and the production team. Until next time, I'm Tokumbo Taiwo saying have a lovely evening.